Oh, hey, we're getting into this much faster. Knife round. So we've got FarmVille in the CT spawn. They should likely stab up each other, and then we will get into the game itself. Although they might walk out of spawn. Who knows? Yep, they're definitely leaving spawn, and they're going to force Rain Above to actually kill them. Well, at the very least, they will let themselves be removed. So Rain Above do win the knife round, and we will head into the pistol. A nice fast knife round. You love to see it. Once we get the sides chosen, which we just do, we head on in. So we got FarmVille starting things off on the T side, Rain Above on the CT side, and let's see how things shake out. Already FarmVille a map up, and we're going to start things off with a pause once again. Super. It's crazy to see so many unsigned teams that can do so much damage in North America. Like if I'm kind of punditing here, North America is a very fun place, right? So we had M80 and NRG at Fragadelphia. Neither one of them won. What we are going to see is a very quick pause this time around, and hopefully starting this one off with an actual pistol that doesn't take 20 minutes this time. Nope, we're going back to the pause. Yes, and Liquid is another team where it's just like, what am I supposed to do with this? Because they don't feel like a North American team yet. I'm sure they will once we go through the major and they, do the Liquid thing of disappointing everyone. But either way, pistol round as the pause is over again. And we'll see what FarmVille have for us. Looks like a very heavy A-lean, and Rain Above getting a lot of pressure into lower tons. Unfortunately for them, no one from FarmVille is there, so Dave about to be run over on Cat. But the nice thing for Rain Above is they can take these fights from lower tons and maybe catch a few players by surprise. They do manage to chew away at 2 players, but the HP hasn't really changed on most of the rest here. So Rain Above going to be going into the 3 versus 3 retake on the A-bomb site as CJ gonna get that bomb planted, pops up over the top of boxes, takes the head off of Louis, comes back for more, looking for the third here. Dave gonna be his next victim, and CJ is just ruling over the peasants of Rain Above. That's not a good sign to lose the pistol when you really need to be getting out ahead, especially on that CT side. Dust2 can be so difficult if you don't start off strong on the CT side, and we're about to witness just that. Mid control taken early on. They do get the smoke down to keep hold of the double doors. Ooh, Cersei with a big swing. Gets cut down by Calamity, and Beaky is in for even more. Chews away and gonna eat right up Cobalt. And these MAC-10s are not done yet. This A-bomb site has been run over by MAC-10s and rifles. DJ got the long-distance AK. Gonna chip away at Louis, but choosing not to go for this. The 5-7 of Dave does answer the question of what do you need to win this, but Beaky coming in to back up his teammate, and it's just an absolute rout. FarmVille have paved Rain Above. And with that force buy, there's not going to be enough for a round 3, so we're not going to see much of anything on the side of Rain Above until this 4th round. And it's one of those strategic choices, right? Do we force buy on the 2nd round to try and retake control early on and go into the trading round scenario? Or do we save up and buy 3rd round? A lot of players like the 3rd round bye, but the nice thing about the 4th round is Rain Above will be able to save for that AWP, and on Dust2, that op is all too important. But they've already been shredded and melted down, and it's just Cobalt left standing. 1 versus 3, at least a couple of kills for the side of Rain Above. At least something, a little bit of a silver lining. Dave picking those up. Cobalt, though, not going to be so lucky as Calamity's MP9 just threads right through. Now we should get to see the op picked up for Say You Will. That's going to be extremely important for Rain Above. If they can't pick up a kill here, then we might just see FarmVille start to really run away with it. Already the money is starting to stack up on Sleep and Beaky. And Calamity looking pretty rich as well. So we'll see this op is the ticket for Rain Above. First shot goes wide. Doesn't connect with anybody. Louis looking to get out in front of this smoke, but that's just going to make him an easier target. Rain Above, they're looking rattled. They're looking shaken. They're getting dumpstered at every angle. You like Cobalt getting set up to watch the cross on Cat, but again, FarmVille are just shooting way too well, and they're not giving a single ounce of opportunity for Rain Above. Calamity's Mac 10 just shuts down Say You Will. A good trade out of Dave, and he picks up the AWP. He will elect to save. Ooh! Spots takes a chunk out of CJ to King. That's a little bit more money in the pockets of Rain Above. That $50 could come in very instrumental. However, he's being challenged. He's going for the reload. Is he going to be able to hold on to this AWP? Oh, spins onto another. And it's Dave's just got the ace on the op. Too bad it's a save. Well, he was the previous opper on his teams, so it's not completely out of the realm of possibility for him to be picking up clips on that. Oh my goodness. Just right off the bat, Sleep Zork's op claims 1. That gets tossed over. Doesn't even need it. Oh my goodness. FarmVille are just leaving nothing up to chance here. Every single kill, they're just so aware, so ready for everything that FarmVille are throwing at them. Already, they've got a 4 versus 2. Cobalt, with a lot of responsibility, is going to stand to the task, at least of CJ, but Sleep Zork mows down Dave, and will leave this one to a 1 versus 3. Cobalt already on the site, and they'll start to get melted down with the Molotov in window. Bomb going to be planted, and there's just too many things to keep track of. Rain Above, they continue to slip further and further away. Now it's going to leave Rain Above on some budget buys once again. I see Deagles, I see Mac 10s. Oh, already they've been called out in this lower tons. CJ going to open this one up. He's looking for more already. Cersei standing close, though. Going to let them pass and tries to go for the trigger discipline play, but Calamity just proven to be too much to handle. A-bomb site already going to be run over. FarmVille are just too good right now. And Rain Above, they're just looking out of sorts. They're looking, I don't want to say lost, but it kind of feels like it. Bomb hasn't been recovered. FarmVille are just, they're surging over towards the A-bomb site, and they don't even care. They're looking for kills. They're looking to make a statement on Rain Above. Well, peek into lower tons, and CJ more than happy to put this AK to work. Smoke tossed in, say you will, able to recover the MP9, but the heat-seeking native Beaky just gonna send him to the Shadow Realm. 6-0. FarmVille just streaking their butts off here. And yeah, I feel like you maybe wanted to take the time out a little bit sooner for Rain Above, but better late than never. Okay, you are kind of annoying me in chat, so we'll just do that. Oops. Sleep Zork going for the op down mid once again. This time, though, not going to be able to pull it off. I do like this boost up here. Say you will, in a prime position, will be able to take the advantage off the back of it. I think this is the first time this game that Rain Above have had that man advantage. This might be their opportunity to maybe get on the board. Still no kills for the side of FarmVille. Dave trying to pop up Xbox and finds a handful of rifles challenging him. Oh, Cersei, they walk right by him, but the spray down, the rifle betrays him, and Beaky able to get the turn. And even worse, Calamity now cutting off your rotation. Bomb is already passed. Beaky gonna get that planted, and everybody walks by Calamity. Just waiting to see if Say You Will follows suit. But it doesn't matter. He's already found two. He's done enough. He's got the third as well. FarmVille continue their winning ways. That was the best chance for Rain Above. They had the opening kill, but they just were not able to hold their nerves. And there have been so many spots where players have run past a Rain Above player, and it's only been enough for a 1 kill. The trigger discipline is just... I don't even know what you do when that's not going your way. Holding a corner and getting flattened is not how you're supposed to... is not how CT side is supposed to go. Already, Rain Above giving up long. Say You Will gonna try and challenge on the scout. Takes a chunk out of Adam. But either way, these rifles are all gonna get out long, and there's nothing Rain Above can do about it. Say You Will still challenging on the scout while the rest of the team looking, scrambling for positions to play. You can tell that FarmVille are very happily in the lead when they're mollying their own smokes. There's just nothing. The steamroller has started on long. Are you going to be in front of it or behind it? Rain Above very much in front of the steamroller. Cobalt managing to repel too, but Say You Will's scout not going to be the ticket to ride this one, and Beaky catches the flank as well. Again, Rain Above get utterly vexed by FarmVille. Eight to nothing. Can Rain Above get even 1 round? This T side has been just way too much to handle. At the very least, Rain Above are going to get hit, but again, if FarmVille are... no matter where FarmVille are taking, they're able to take control and just completely exploit every little piece of this map. 2 players to handle on Cat. Say You Will just taking the deep angle. He's got Louis with him with the MP9. I don't know how many players are sitting here waiting for them, and Calamity is a dangerous one to be waiting. Though Say You Will does answer back with 2 of his own. Does have to scamper away from this 3rd rifle. But again, a grain above with a man advantage, and it's instantly answered. I like this position for Cobalt. Half an HP bar, taking the early fight. Oh, he's going to get the Molotov into double doors. This might be enough, but Beaky just ducks under his crosshair. There you will with a heavy weight on his shoulders, and the M4 only going to be good for 1 again. This Dave A4 needs 2 kills. And look at them just trading positions back and forth. 9-0. CJ doesn't even have to pick up the AWP. There's too much money on the side of FarmVille. They're too rich. They don't even care. All right, 3 more chances for Rain Above to get on the board on their CT side. They are lacking an op and they are lacking a B site. They've already lost Dave. Cersei gonna watch the cross. Will at least trade that one back, but it's looking like this round is a non-starter. A couple of trades back and forth will still lead to this bomb going down on the B-bomb site. And it's a hard enough site to take back in the best of times, but this feels like the worst of times. It's even Stevens, 2 versus 2. But Rain Above, Louis is having a game for himself. 0-10. Say You Will, just going to try to walk through the Molotov. He gets melted down, and he's going to be revealed to the T's of FarmVille. Adam and Beaky defend the site once again, and it's 10 for FarmVille on their T side. I was in my head thinking about something else, and just in the first 10 seconds of the round, it's yeah. Every round is just utter domination from the side of FarmVille. This is not FarmVille. This is Clash Royale, and this is, I don't actually know Clash Royale, but a max level town for Clash Royale that is challenging level 1s. We'll see if Cobalt has the read here, as he's lost in the sauce and smoke, as the rest of his team has already been flattened. The plow has gotten started on the side of FarmVille, and it is just harvesting Rain Above. 11-0. 11-0. At least let Louis get 1 kill. My gosh, the dude is 0-11. He's got 2 assists. He's got 111 damage for the whole game. That is not even heart-wrenching. That is, oh my goodness. He gets pinched by the op at long range. And it's a long take for the side of FarmVille. This is a desperation Rain Above, and they're getting melted once after another. CJ already with 2. Louis gonna try to pop up elevator, maybe look for something. Oh, he does it! He's got the Kukli. He's managed to take down the auto sniper that Calamity was bringing to the table, and at least he's ended this one with a singular kill. But I don't think Rain Above will be ending this one with a round. They've got 2 players versus 3. Dave on 16 HP. And it's just looking so over. If we could see the faces of Rain above, I think we'd see some very upset faces. I think we'd see some desk slamming. Maybe not even desk slamming. Maybe they're just completely... They're letting this game just wash over them. Although Cobalt looking like he does maybe have something here. Both of these players on limited HP, and Beaky's AWP is looking for that 12-0. He's going to be denied as Dave comes in from above. Does he have... Wait a minute. He doesn't have a kit. He didn't have a kit. He doesn't have the time. There's nothing left. The salt on the bomb as Dave gets exploded. 12-0 T side for FarmVille. They are running rampant. They are going to close this out in decisive fashion. I don't even know what to say to this. What do you say? How do you recoup after this one? Because if you're Rain above, like at this point, you're hoping for a little glimmer of light, a little silver lining, but FarmVille are pushing in and taking the soul from your body. The win isn't enough. The message isn't enough. This isn't a curb stomping. This is a curb steamrolling. Rain above already spotted in mid. They're already being chipped away. Oh my goodness. Cobalt does even out the player counts across the server, but already a minute has gone by. Rain above find themselves in mid. Where do you go from here? FarmVille have already taken to the sites. They're already pulling back and forcing Rain above to come to them. The answer is going to be the B-bomb site. A hard one to retake against pistols for sure. Cersei and Louis will roll over these B-site players and force Adam and CJ into the 2 versus 4. No kits. It's all guns here for the CTs. But given how they've been shooting, you might even trust them to make this one a 13-0. Adam going to be the first one in through window. There's Cobalt dropping CJ. Adam has to go for the 1 versus 4 and will be denied. Rain above. They take 1. They did it. They stopped the 13-0. Well, this game is about to become interesting because FarmVille, because you've got Calamity, you're going to be forcing. Although Calamity's not the one that has the MP9. He's going with Beaky, who has the MP9, but he's got the 5.7. Meanwhile, the B site is just going to be just shrugged off. Dave opens things up. Oh, CJ with a no-scope scout headshot through the wall to bring this one to a 4 versus 4. I was like joking, like there's no way that FarmVille on these weapons managed to win the round. But the scout is always just such a scary thing. You stand still for a second and that scout will send you to the Shadow Realm. Well, the bomb will be ticking down, but these CTs are making sure to take away plenty of money from this T side. I don't know why. I don't know why any of the teams forfeited. I would imagine that players are still getting home from various tournaments. So, I mean, Fragadelphia was over the weekend, and we saw some forfeits happen due to that. I would imagine there's still forfeits going on because players are not, you know, fully home and set up yet. Aside from that, I It's hard to know. Oh my gosh. 5-7 starts this one off with first blood. Rain above just not being given a second to breathe. First, he's going to be like, B-site's open, spots Calamity through the doors, and loses his life to the MP9. Oh, no. Bomb going to rotate around and find this B-site is a little bit more difficult to take than maybe they would have thought. It's just stuck outside of tons, just waiting. Oh, no. Calamity! He picks up the AK. There he goes. It's over. Dave on 5 HP. 12-2. All that we get for the side of Rain Above, I think. Trying to put his aim to the test here. Dave on a 13-13. It's an admirable scoreline. I don't think it's going to be enough to dig him out of this hole. 45 seconds. Bomb on the other side of the map. FarmVille don't even have to challenge. They don't even have to fight. Iki just toying with him at this point. Waiting for that clip to be reloaded. But I think this one, I think we all know where this game is going, and we're just delaying it at this point. Well, at least they're going to give him some space to run around. Look at this. Everybody's grouped up in double doors for FarmVille. They have decided that this last round, this game is not going to end on a roar, but a whimper. So, fair enough. FarmVille 13-2. They close it out. I don't know if Rain Above are throwing, because FarmVille in the last head-to-head, they won it. So I don't think this is a throw. I think this is just that FarmVille are actually legitimately getting more practice.